Well, it is that time of the year as we begin wrapping up some of our vegetable harvest by bush hogging, pulling up drip tape, spraying, plowing, and we got to get all this done before the cold, dark, wet days of November. It's always a little bit sad mowing down a crop that you work so hard on throughout the spring and summer, but it's just the nature of the business. However, we have began a new and exciting harvest here on the farm, harvesting soybeans and field corn, and I'm going to be taking you guys along for the ride in the combine cab today. My name is Jason, and this is Wishwell Farms. Check out our brand spanking new Brandt 1070 HP auger. There's another one right there. What's the deal? I can't wait to have Joel tell you this story. Lots of corn and beans. Joel is just about filled up, so he's going to need this truck here in a few minutes. Just out here waiting for Joel to bring me another load. Enjoying the peace and quiet other than the rustling of the corn. But I was just thinking to myself how different this type of farming is to vegetable farming. You know, in vegetable farming, it lasts for 6 to 9 months. There's no real rush or feelings of urgency and pressure like there is raising produce, working with employees, getting things chilled down, washed, harvested, packed, you know, all that stuff, and then hoping you can sell it at farmers markets. I mean, there are so many moving parts in the produce business. It is unbelievable. Yes, there are issues with grain farming. There are times of stress, but as a whole, from beginning to end, there is no comparison. I've had farmers tell me that grain farm, oh, I just wish I could have a simple life of growing 100 acres of vegetables and forget this 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 acres of grain farming. You better think again. This is one of our larger fields. I think there's about 120 acres here. Boy, look at all that dust flying. You can't even see the combine. Holy moly. I finally made it into the combine with Joel, and we're running 3-1 beans right now. What's the moisture looking like?
10.2. It was 12 a few hours ago. Right there's our moisture. Our yields sit between 50 and 60.
Okay. Not too bad for being in a drought.
Yeah. I actually think we got one rain up here in August that we didn't get down a mile away. I remember watching the radar. I'm like, oh, they're getting it up at McCarran Farm and shoots. Wow. And that was maybe a quarter inch more than what we got there. I mean, that half inch to a quarter inch is the difference, probably the difference between making nothing and making an extra $50 or $100 per acre.
Yeah.
And this
awesome.
year.
I remember about 5 or 6 years ago, I did a video in this field with Dad, and we were getting 15 bushel to the acre.
2019 probably.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
So 6 years ago.
Yeah, that was a terrible year.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So tell me some of the things you're noticing about this crop that's different from the past.
One
thing
is
about your rotor speed.
Yeah, one thing is the amount of dust. I don't know if it's because it's the drought, but we had a drought last year. It wasn't this. We're going into the wind right now, so you don't see the amount of dust, but the amount of leaves building up on the. I just cleaned that out on the front. The amount of leaves that pile up on the front here. Usually the leaves drop more, but there's still a lot of leaves that are still attached. What else is weird? Yeah, the rotor speed is right now I'm running at 620, which I'm still not cracking beans, even though it's 10% moisture. Normally I'll be having to run around 550 rotations per minute on the rotor, and which is directly below us. And yeah, 10% moisture, I'd be running much slower.
Huh.
But yeah, we're hardly cracking anything, getting a nice clean sample. I mean, there's hardly any pods.
You probably can't see them too well through there because the windows are really dirty. It's been so dusty out. Nice looking beans. Do you think they look a little small?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of small beans in there for sure. I don't know what the best stuff. Just messing with the settings. Try not to spit those small beans out.
Yeah.
Because they're still worth something. You don't want to blow them out, so I've been trying to. I don't want the fan speed to get too high. It's an art trying to and a science trying to get the settings just right. If you turn the fan up too much, you'll blow your beans out and your small beans.
Right.
But not enough, you'll get a dirty sample and full of pods and stems and stuff.
So on this half of the field over here, you had some 2.9 beans.
Yeah.
How did they do compared to the 3.1?
I guess we'll get a better idea here soon how the yields are looking comparison wise.
Joel's pulling up the yield map right
See
now.
if I can. Man, this thing takes forever.
You think
to
that
zoom
thing's
out.
pretty accurate?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I'd say within 5%.
Okay.
So this line that we're just doing should be might be a different yield.
Okay.
We'll see. Because these are, everything to the right was planted, I think the 10th maybe, and everything to the left was planted on the, I'm looking right now.
Okay.
And it's a different variety, planted about a week and a half apart, I believe.
How you like the auto steer?
Oh, game changer. I don't know why we waited so long.
He's just sitting there riding along, steering itself.
Planted on the 12th and then on the 26th.
Okay,
so 14 days apart.
Over here was the 12th, this is the 26th.
And different varieties.
So 2.9 beans over here on the 12th, 3.1 beans on the 26th.
So
yeah,
one thing, I was talking to Van Bowers or Mitch about the beans, and we planted pretty much all early beans. We usually plant, say, 2 9s to all the way to 3 7s, and those are different just amount of growing degree days that are needed for full maturity.
Right.
We didn't plant anything above 3 3s this year.
Oh wow!
And I was like, oh man, I'm kind of, maybe that's all Mitch had. I'm not really sure. I didn't really complain about it. I'm like, oh, let's just go with it. We've been good with planting early, quick maturing beans and been fine. So I'm glad we did, because they matured a lot quicker before the drought. They didn't get as hurt by the drought. If we planted a lot of later beans, that would have probably hurt us even more.
Yeah.
With the lack of rain in August.
Okay. Yeah, as they got through a majority of their growing cycle and filling the pods out before the worst of the drought.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having that earlier maturing bean probably helped us out in the long run, I think.
So I'm happy to see they're still doing in the, well, it's a little less now, but 40s to 50s. And
yeah,
maybe
some 60s every now and then jump up on the screen.
Plant on the 26th. Yeah. We still have a lot of fields that planted, I think up to the June 3rd.
Okay.
All my stuff, unfortunately.
So we have about 900 acres of soybeans. I almost said green beans. I'm used to talking about green beans. We have about 900 acres of soybeans. Where are we at in the harvest?
350 done.
Okay. So you passed the third way mark already today.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Had a big breakdown 2 days ago. We didn't get to do any harvesting yesterday.
We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Stay tuned. This is a good one. I talked about it in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I showed the auger when I was going to pick up the truck.
I'll send the pictures to you too.
Yeah.
If you're wondering why I'm leaving about 1.5 to 2 feet section on the left side,
yep, right over there,
it's because I'm filling up too full. This can hold almost 300 bushel. So I kind of calculated every single time I do a little bit less or a little bit more spacing. So I'm at 145 right at the turnaround. So I know
man, that's perfect.
I'll make it back if I leave about 1.5 feet.
Okay, gotcha.
A lot of trial.
So if he was using the full 35-foot head, he'd be filling up probably a couple hundred feet before he got to the end of the field.
And I have a couple mess ups. You'll see that's what those strips are up there. Yeah. Or I'll have to just stop and leave a section back here and do it later. It's just a pain. It's like one more pass after this and I'll be done with the long sections anyway.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're just about done with the long sections. Looks like he has about 4 more swaths, and then it'll be in the short sections over there on the other side of that tree line. This is one of our bigger fields. I mentioned it earlier. It's about 120 acres.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I was unloading a load of beans, and Mike stopped by to say hi, to see when you needed them today.
Our old hired hand from 30 years ago.
Yeah, he worked for us for 20 years, since I was a little kid until my early 20s on our dairy farm. Anyway, he was telling me that the auger broke down while he was using it. So tell us about this whole story, this whole ordeal that happened yesterday.
So I got a call, this 2 nights ago, right around, I don't know, the evening time. Mike calls me up, hey, there's the auger just dropped. I shut everything off and big loud noise. I'm like, what in the world? It dropped? What do you mean it dropped? Finally, he sent me a picture of it, and the entire auger sits on the hitch pin of the tractor, and it fell off and dropped a foot because there was no pin in the hitch to hold it on.
Okay.
So when my nephew was backing it up, somehow to line up to the next auger, transferring from
the next bin, you mean?
Yeah, transfer from one bin to the next bin. The pin somehow fell out. There is a little bit of a slop in there. It's not like a double. What do you call that? It doesn't. It's just a hitch. This is the hitch.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
It just has just a one piece of steel on top of another instead of another one on the bottom to sandwich it in. So the hitch, got the pin, wiggles around a little bit. Somehow it popped out, and then when we went to fire it up, thankfully it didn't put any beans in it yet, and it just dropped. And with it being spinning at probably 400 or 500 RPM, and that sudden drop, only 1 foot, the entire auger tube, not the entire thing, there's a section of about 3 feet in, broke. It just completely twisted.
Man.
It was a joint section.
Okay.
Has 3 pieces of the flighting in the auger.
Okay.
And the first section broke. It's like, oh my goodness, that's the worst thing happened right now.
Yeah.
So we drove up the next day, went up to Apple Farm Equipment, took it all apart, found out exactly where it was broken, found out it was going to be too much to fix, trying to find the parts for it, and just weighing out what we should do. Should we take it to our Amish buddy, because he could probably weld this thing up pretty quick, but he wasn't around, and we need this auger now. So we ended up just, long story short, we ended up just buying a new auger for $24,000.
Because you're dead in the water without it.
Yeah,
we can't fill our grain bins without it. We don't have a grain leg.
Yeah.
We have to have this. What is a Brandt 1070?
Yeah,
okay.
70-foot auger.
Yeah. To
get all the way to the tops of all of our bins. So we ended up buying a new one. We were gonna trade, but I'm like, found out they only offered $4,000 for.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
because it was broken.
Yeah, because it was gonna cost. They said $5,000 to fix it. I can probably do it for $500, and it's not gonna be that much to fix it. We just don't have the time and the materials and the access to everything to do it.
Right.
So went just bringing the old one back home, putting it back together, bringing it home, and then just this morning I went and got the new one.
Oh my
so now
gosh.
I'll fix up the old one this winter, and either sell it or just keep it as a backup so we don't run into the same situation.
Right.
Because right now,
time is money right now.
Time is very much, yes. I was just looking at the calculations. At 8%, you're losing between $300 to $400 per hour just because you're harvesting dry beans.
Oh my.
So you want to harvest those beans as fast as you can when the moisture is up. If it's starting to drop and you got long, good weather looking ahead, it's like, and there's rain potentially, it's like, maybe we should just not harvest when it's super dry. Right now we're at 10% and we're losing about $200 per hour. You're never going to harvest optimum.
Yeah, it's a balancing act because you want to get the right amount of moisture, but you don't want to wait too long.
Then if you wait too long, you risk the pods opening up. Every time it rains, it goes through that rehydration cycle. It will loosen the pods up, and you'll have a lot of shatter loss, which can be even worse. So it's just more or less just try to get in as fast as you can.
Yeah. And when you don't have an auger, you ain't getting nothing done.
Yeah.
So you were down all day yesterday?
Yeah.
The entire day. An entire day of no harvesting.
Yeah, sucked. I did come in yesterday evening, and I did dump the 2 trucks into our semi. So I was able to hard run for a couple hours.
Okay.
Yesterday
so
evening.
So 600 bushels or something.
Yeah. So I was able to, 1,000 bushel.
Yeah.
So I was able to finish up and fix a bunch of stuff on the header. Had to take a hour-long break, which was nice. Hanging with my boys.
All right, so a lot of people are going to wonder why we don't have a semi out here and grain carts. You probably don't use grain carts on soybeans, mainly just corn.
I mean,
it depends if you have multiple combines going.
Yeah.
Soybeans, we're even 4 miles from home, and we can keep up with 2 trucks They hold about 350?
No, they hold 500.
Oh, they got five. Oh, those are 500 bushel trucks. Okay, I don't know why that.
The hopper little wagons are 350s.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, so 500 bushel trucks. It takes a good half hour.
Yeah, about
40 minutes to get a load.
45 minutes to get a load, I'd say.
So plenty of time. You know, Jake's in there right now waiting to get that one topped off so he can take off. And he'll be back with that one probably 20 minutes before we have that one filled. So all kinds of time. Now, if Joel was out here by himself and he didn't have any help for a couple hours, he could bring our semi out here and fill it up, and that'd keep you busy for probably 3 hours, wouldn't it?
They have about two on the 2.5, and if I fill the hopper up too in the combine.
Yeah.
With a grain cart, you need another person too, which is always hard trying to line people up. And most of our fields are relatively small enough that we can dump at the end of each row.
Yeah.
This is the only field we have to split in half. Usually, some of the other fields are a little bit long. We have to split it in a third or a half.
Right.
And then drive it. You just hope you don't get some wet weather. If it's wet, you'll harvest a different field where you can park the trucks in a driveway. But you need to wait for it to dry out for a field like this if we're harvesting corn in it.
Right.
Because we can't drive across the field too easily if it's muddy with the truck.
All right, we're going to top off this truck here. And it's going to be extremely dusty, so I'm going to leave the door shut, stay inside.
I think a grain cart's just another piece of equipment to maintain.
Yeah.
Expense.
Now, if we had a 12 or 16 row head and farm 1,000 acres of corn, it'd be different. We only farm about 400 acres of corn, and we have a 6 row head.
One negative, I'm not able to harvest while unloading. So we lose out. There's a little bit of wear and tear on you're putting hours on the equipment that is unnecessary.
And the starting and stopping of all the parts.
Because I shut everything down. The thresher, the head.
All right, he's full, heading back to the farm. And then we'll put the rest of our load in here.
Yeah, roughly every hour you put on a combine is about $300.
Wow.
And cost.
Huh, interesting. All right, I'll try stepping out and see how dusty it is. So later on today, I'll be back in here doing a live stream with Joel right before dark. If you are interested in hearing more discussion and detail about everything we've been talking about so far today, check out the link down below in the description for that live stream, because this video you're watching now will be coming out about a week after the live stream. Joel just pointed out to me we got a broken finger on the reel. Wonder what caused that? A rock or something?
Probably a rock. I don't know, it doesn't go down. I mean, that's all the further down it goes, though.
Yeah, it doesn't touch rocks.
Huh. That's the first finger I've ever broken.
Wow. He's going to clean up these little sections of 2 9s he left behind.
My hopper is too full, so I have to pull out.
Man, look at that blue sky. Through the camera, it's coming in really blue. That's pretty. Well, I think I'm gonna head home and grab some supper and get ready for this live stream tonight. So don't forget to check out the live stream link down below. Well, I just arrived back home to my place, getting ready to head inside to grab some dinner. I always have a great time hanging out with Joel in the combine cab. I hope you guys found it interesting and educational. This is where we're going to wrap this one up today. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all again next time down on the farm.